That's the wrong screen. Hold on one second. That's the right screen. The other one was the gameplay screen. This is the drawing screen. The drawing scene, even. So, welcome. My name is Goodle in a mustache. And a beret. And I'm the art version of Goodle. Not to be confused with the super rad gamer version of Goodle. He's also pretty cool, I guess. Not as cool as me, though. I do super cool art, like a skeleton with vines coming out of his face and covered in chainmail and stuff. And that's what we're doing today. We are going to be drawing our nice, here's a little way for you. We're going to be finishing up our nice chainmail skeleton here. Hopefully finishing him up. This is the 4th stream, I think, that we've been doing. Sir Nigel Chattlesworth Reeves, I think is his name. Based on a character by Reddit user Nitrous Oxide. And if I finish the chainmail part here, all I need to do is the back stuff here. This spot here, to get it nice and complete. Then I can color in the chainmail with some silverish blue, I think. Color in the flower, and we could just call it there. We don't really need to shade it. We've already shaded the inside. So let's try and do that. Let's see what we're able to do for Hello, Nocti. How you been? You finally caught a stream. Welcome. It's so nice to see you here. It's my art. It's a skeleton with some chainmail hat. I've not yet completed it just yet, but I've been working on this for the last couple of streams. And I got my mustache and my hat because I'm a real artist. So pretty, know you. Know your art is pretty. How have you been? D&D characters, I know, right? Do you play D&D, Nocti? You played, you miss playing? You used to play it in the past? What kind of characters did you play? I want to know when you used to play, like how long you used to play. I want to know what kind of characters you played. You come into my chat and tell me you played D&D, and you don't expect me to ask you every single question about every single character you've ever played? That's silly for you to think I'm not going to ask that, because I want to hear literally everything about all of your characters. Stupid ones like a mute sorcerer and a Triton that has a butter addiction. Alright, that's a new one. That seems totally in line with D&D characters, but a butter addiction is a new one for me. Let's see. Alright, we got that. Got that. Keep talking. I'm looking for good pieces that I can copy and paste with our chainmail here. Which one was... What was the last character you played? How long ago was it? What kind of character were you playing last? I think actually one of these center ones. This center one, or one of the other ones. Last time you played was actually 4 months ago, little cry kitty face, but I've actually been playing for years. Years, like even older editions? Have you been playing any of the ones that came out before 5th edition? Because I started with 5th edition. Yeah? Oh shit, huge nerd over here. Queen nerd. We got the biggest nerd on the block over here. We all bow to your nerdiness. What was your first edition? Big Nerd Magic 2? Well, then you probably were super stoked to see all the crossovers. Alright, let's get... Where is... There's the one. Let's get this. And actually, you know what? Let's get the other. Actually, you know what? That one's pretty good. Let's get here. Rename so we can actually find it. You got introduced to D&D early, so I was able to play some 2nd edition. Whoa. That's old school. Where's rename? Where's rename layer? Nothing. I just gotta double click and rename. We want to go center tile. Or drawing noodle. I love your drawing here. It's my soup, but it's what I draw with. Here, watch. Whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop, 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 doo, 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 doo. Hi. What was the... Of these characters that you mentioned, what was the last one that you played 4 months ago? Or maybe what was the longest one you've played recently? What was a long, like a campaign that you got to play? Because most of my groups have been going for a long time. We've played like several years together, and maybe we finished one campaign, maybe we're on our 2nd campaign, but most of them are going for a very long time together. Duplicate, let's go copy center file, and let's go farther down here. That's that. So yeah, underneath there. We want underneath all of these, underneath the bones even. Yeah, underneath the color even. There we go. Last one you played was a chaotic neutral alignment that explains nothing to me. Who had a goal to snort moon dust in the campaign. Now that's a goal. Just hunting down moon dust. Tiefling. Gotcha. Chaotic neutral tiefling whose goal was to snort moon dust. That sounds like a D&D player. That sounds like a D&D player to me. Have you not gotten a chance to play? Like, did your groups, like, you know, fall apart or something? Yes, it was fun because it was basically licking and tasting everything. That seemed fun. Slime off the ground, mutated seagull. Who mutated that seagull? That's fucking excellent. Where is this? We can go like this. Actually, that's pretty good like that. If we go like that. This. There's a pretty good layout like that. Elves did, and I named it Kevin and gave it a lick. Now it's my pet. Please never own a pet, real life, Nocti. I am worried for them. Please never let a pet into your house if this is how you treat pets. You gotta stop licking your mutated pets, Nocti. How many times have I told you? His name is Maru. You gotta stop licking that pet. We've tried to... I'm sorry, we've tried to get Nocti to stop, but we just cannot get her to stop licking pets. We've tried everything. We've tried making them taste like Switch cartridges. She just keeps doing it. Kevin is great. He squawks and grows a beard like a dwarf. Man, your licks caused that? You got one fucked up tongue. I'm just kidding. I know he was mutated before. Why did the elves mutate him to grow a beard? That's just silly. Ooh, these should actually be maybe a little bit different angled. That's just silliness. Silliness in my D&D game? There. There. They were trying to experiment with something still. Don't know why, because the campaign is on hold. But apparently, yeah. Apparently, yeah. Campaign is on hold. That stinks. It's always a shame when campaigns fall apart or go on hold indefinitely. Are you waiting for that one to get back together, or are you looking for new stuff now? There we go. since those schedule changes, but I'm always open for new campaigns too. Well, I hope you find a good one, and if you're still end up looking after a while, I was gonna offer to DM for fellow VTubers in maybe a future campaign after like a month or so, like a month from now. Google DM count you in? Yeah, I love DMing. I'm the DM for a lot of my groups. I actually started as a DM. I started because I wanted to DM. I started listening to a bunch of shows that were coming out, like a lot of people. Like, I started playing D&D the same time a lot of people started with 5th edition. And it was for the same reasons a lot of people started playing recently, is because there were these, popular shows that were coming out, and everyone was enjoying them, and I was listening to them too, and I was enjoying it. And so, but I really liked the idea of DMing, the idea of getting to do all these fun, like, NPCs and voice act for them, and to write a story and make a world seemed really, really cool. And so I was just like casually thinking of doing it, and then my brother texted me one day and said, "Hey, can you babysit for us?" And I said, "Oh yeah, sure. Like, I'll babysit for you. What are you guys doing?" And he said, "Oh, we're going to play D&D." And I was just like, wait, you're going to play D&D? And this was the first I had heard that he was interested in playing D&D. And he was like, "Yeah, we started playing D&D like 2 weeks ago, and we're going to a game store, and we need a babysitter." I was like, "But I wanna go. I've never played D&D. I wanna go." He was like, "You can't go. You're our babysitter, so that we can go." I was like, "Let me go." And he eventually, after much begging, like, I had to babysit for him that week, but the next week after that, after so much begging from me, I begged him to let me come with them. They finally let me join them. And actually, hold on one second. Let me merge all these layers down and then maybe move it around. They finally let me join them, and so the real reason I wanted to start playing was to DM, but I had to stay with them for, like, in the game store for a couple of weeks, playing at just whatever table was open. And it usually was like a table of all newbies like us, or a table of like kids and like their parents who wanted to start playing. It was usually overcrowded because it was the table where everyone, like, who was new, like, had to go play in. There wasn't like a dedicated, just like, here's a table for like new people kind of thing. And so we eventually kind of got bored of playing at all these like newbie tables, and I convinced them to let me try some one-shots, like DMing some one-shots for them. And they enjoyed it enough to let me keep doing it. And that was great for me, because that was the whole reason I wanted to start. And ever since then, after like that first month or so, I've been DMing for them ever since. My brother did take over for the last year or so, but I'm excited to get back to it with them or with other people. And D&D is a fun thing. It's such a fun thing. Nocti, I'm so obsessed. Right now I play it 3 to 4 times a week. I think 3 times a week now. One group just kind of stopped playing recently. And for a while, not anymore, but for a while, I was DMing 3 times a week. I was DMing everything except for a weekend game. And only playing once. And I was fine with that. I really liked DMing. And then it does take a lot of work. You know how I managed to do it? You know how I managed to DM 3 times a week without totally killing myself over the work? Here's the secret. I barely ever prepared anything. I would know what I wanted to do that week, and I would spend 1 hour, like that was basically just like 1 hour, maybe an hour and a half before each session, and prepare for that session. I already had like I already knew exactly like where the story was going. I did a lot of upfront prep work where like, I'd just be thinking about it for months, writing down notes and things like that whenever I was free. But in the sessions, like doing it a lot of times throughout the week, I can't be spending 4 or 5 hours preparing for every single session throughout the week. And so I would just save, I would make sure that my schedule was totally free for like an hour to an hour and a half before each session. And during that hour, whatever I got done, I got done. So any maps, because I like drawing my own maps, but they're usually pretty simple. They're usually like doodles. They're not like super complex. I like drawing my own maps, or I might find a map online that I like using from people's various Patreons or Twitters or Tumblrs or Reddits or things like that people post. I'll look up creature stat blocks, I'll download or save them, or make the encounters. I'll add a few notes here or there of like important dialogues or important rooms or important items, but whatever I get done in an hour is just what I have prepared, and everything else I'll just improvise. I know in my head what the rooms basically look like. I know in my head what the story is basically gonna go, or how the world basically works, and so I'm able to improvise a lot of that stuff and just think, okay, so what would this room have in it? This place has this aesthetic, and it's inhabited by these people, so I think this place would have this sort of furniture, and it has one of these in the corner, and it has several of these right there, and we'll just kind of work out whatever is in there as I go, rather than taking notes about it beforehand. That has been my way of doing it, and thank God I'm a good improviser, because that would be pretty hard. That wouldn't be enough work otherwise. But I think my groups have had a lot of fun so far as well. We've stayed together for a while, so yeah, I definitely want to do maybe a shorter one with a bunch of VTuber friends. Whoever is interested, newbies, veterans, doesn't matter to me. I'd be willing to teach some people. And find a nice, like once a week time to play with everyone. Once every 2 weeks maybe, if people can't commit to once a week. Well, feel free to count yourself in if, how would I do this? Like, I'm gonna, offer it to a bunch of mutuals and stuff. Like, you'll probably see me post about it on Discord or on Twitter. And feel free to say like, ooh, me, I wanna join, because people that I know well I definitely want to play with you guys. I think it would be more like this, more like here. Yeah, it'd be more like there. Heck yeah. Cans paint streams, let's go, yeah. I think it would be like this. I'm very curious how many people would want to start. Like, there are a bunch of VTubers who play D&D, but I'm curious how many people are interested who like never played before and would be interested in just like starting for the first time. I have a feeling there are a lot because D&D is still pretty popular for online stuff. 4 or 5 players is a good basis. I agree. For streams, I think 3 is also okay. Honestly, for streams and shows, I feel like slightly smaller groups, like 3 to 4 people, is better than bigger groups like 5 to 6 people. I normally like slightly bigger groups, 5 to 6 people, because, I mean, for D&D, you have to worry about scheduling, you have to worry about people showing up and committing, and having, you know, enough players to defeat the monsters and get through all the problems and everything. And so having at least, I like having 5 people. I can't handle 7 to 8 either, yeah. 7 to 8 people is also just so slow. People don't really get a chance to talk or to move. Like 5 people is nice to me. I like having 5 people in a group, and if someone doesn't show up that week, that's also okay, because 4 people is perfectly fine. 6 people is okay as well, but it's best if like 6 people is really good if several people can't always make it. If like you know that there's going to be several people each week who might not be showing up, like that's one of my groups is we have some people who never really know if they're going to be able to show up. We have 6 people in that group, so there's almost always enough people to keep on playing. And we got something to eat. BRB, I'm still listening though. Cool. So I'll keep rambling. I'll keep just yakking away. But on stream, since 5, 6 people, it does go slower. You know, combat does go slower, and D&D combat is already notoriously slow compared to most other systems. And I'm fine with that. Like, I'm good with slow combat, like D&D combat, but it is probably less entertaining on stream for a lot of people to listen to. And for some people to play as well. Where is... oh, it's this one. And so 3 to 4 people is definitely nice for a show. Oh, wait. Oh, that's right. Those were bones. Let's just do this here. And this here. But if a lot of people want to play, then I would have a hard time turning people away. I'd have a hard time saying, no, sorry. So maybe I shouldn't ask like a huge crowd of people at first. Maybe I should just see if some of my close VTuber friends are interested. 'Cause I don't think I'd be able to do 2 per week. I don't think I'd be able to do 2 D&D streams per week. Not currently, anyway. It would be hard to prepare 2 D&D streams per week. Unless... the one thing I could do, which I am thinking of doing, but I would probably want to... I'm not sure if I would want to do it. One of the things I was thinking of doing is just recycling one of my older campaigns for a newer group. Because that way I would not really need to prepare anything new. I would already have a lot of the stuff written and made and ready. The problem with that though is that those campaigns are all pretty dang long. all the campaigns I've done in the past have been pretty long. So I don't know if that would be a good idea to recycle any of those. Maybe I'd want to do a brand new one, but just a shorter one. One where people are leveling up pretty quickly. Like every session or two. That would probably end up being much more manageable. And I could keep it generally generic if I wanted to. Wouldn't need to be too complex. The players would be making it super unique already, just as players. But yeah, I was probably going to go on the Discord first and say, hey, would anyone be interested in playing some D&D together? And then, depending on how many people are interested, then maybe taking it to Twitter and seeing if any mutuals would be interested. What's there? We gotta go 1 and then 2. Which 1 and then 2? This should be the very lowest layers. UM back, oh whoa. Oh whoa, UM back. There's that. Where's the other one? There's that one. There's that one. There's that one. Oh, wait a sec. Where's the other one? Alright, we're looking great so far. Thank you. It looks like I'll be able to finish the chainmail. Love the details. Thank you. The chainmail is a big cheat. It's a big lie. Whole lot of copy pasting and things not actually lining up correctly, but no one will ever know except for all those times that I say it out loud. Let's see, this one, where's the bones here? Bones are here. Gotta. I think we can just get rid of all of them here. I'm also going to be preparing. This month is going to be, I feel like, pretty dang busy for me. Because not only is there plenty of, there we go, life stuff that I just want to do or will be doing, but a lot for the channel too. I'm going to be seeing who might be interested in D&D, so that's a big thing. I'm going to see if, actually, let me look if they responded back. I'm not on Discord right now. Let me look if they responded back. Because it might be, yes, here we go. Sazzle and I have been interested in doing something music related with each other. I want to D&D, maybe. Yeah, maybe. And of course, if it's all within a group of people I know, then that's excellent. That's perfect right there. I don't need to be announcing anything. But some people might not, so we'll just have to see what people are interested in. And so Sazzle and I were thinking of doing something music related together. We both love folk music. I play guitar. Sazzle is a folk singer. Very good folk singer. I love singing too. And we might be doing something related to folk music in October. That doesn't really have a deadline though. So there's that as well. And then there's also, I want to do an introduction stream for myself around the end of October. I have, let me opacity 0 this. I did a little like intro video that is my pinned tweet, but I never did like a debut stream. Yeah, introduction stream. I never did a debut stream like the classic Vtuber debut where you know, show off your model and talk about your likes and dislikes. Are you going to do the VTuber introduction thing? Of course I am. Like, that's what I'm interested in. I never did I just sort of did a first stream because I realized that, because I made everything myself. I made all my channel and everything myself, like my model and the channel and all that stuff. And that was a lot of hard work. And there was a certain point where I realized if I waited around, if I kept on trying to prepare for like a huge, awesome debut stream that was the best debut stream I could ever do, it would take me another year of waiting. Like, it had already taken me sort of a year to prepare the channel and all the model and everything. And if I did a big debut stream, it was going to take me another year. I could tell already. And so I just decided to not do a big reveal debut. I just kind of started streaming. I just kind of did a first stream and just kind of started streaming, which was very helpful for my mental state. It was very, very helpful for me. But that also means that, like, I don't really have an intro video on the channel. Like, I have a low introductory video, but I don't really have a debut stream, you know? And I want one. I want to have a traditional debut stream. And so around the end of October, that's going to be my 6 months. That's going to be 6 month like anniversary from when I started streaming. And so I would like to my first, the half a year, you know? My channel hasn't grown very much. I'm still very, very small of a streamer. Only got like 100 followers or so. But I want to look at those 6 months and feel like I did a lot for it. You know, I want to look at all the things I've drawn for it, all the things that I've made for it, and recorded music and things like that. And I want to look back like, wow, I did a lot in those 6 months. My channel, it looks so much better 6 months later than it did 6 months ago. And so that also means drawing a whole bunch of new stuff. I want to draw an ending screen, which I don't have right now, and record some new music, which I don't have right now. And then reveal, like have a cool, like sort of reveal during a debut. Well, an introduction stream. It wouldn't be a debut stream. I do sing. In fact, I'll be doing some guitar stuff later today, this afternoon. I'll be sleeping in between. It's super late at night. Actually, you're in America too, so I'll be sleeping in a couple of hours. If you're awake like 12 hours from now, then I'll be having some acoustic guitar playing. And feel free to come join and sing and listen to us. Never heard of it. Never. I don't know her. Sleep? I don't know her. Alright, where's our current? Not that. It's one of these things. There it is. We just want to get rid of that little thing right there. And a couple of these. That can stay. But this. Yeah, that looks fine. It's okay if that doesn't totally connect. Just delete this part. No one's going to really notice without closer inspection that this part is actually not connected. You can't really tell, can you? It just looks like a bunch of links. You can't really tell that it's not actually connected. I do need to draw one or two more things in there, though. Perfect. Let's draw those last little bits right here, and we'll be done with the... not that layer. Chainmail. Yay! Yay, 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 yay. Where is that layer there? We're gonna need a new layer. We can just do it over this one. Now, here's what I do for these chains. I do a circle. Like that. It should be smaller than that for these little corner circles. Just do a circle like that, and a circle like that. Circle like that. This is not how I do most of the chains, but this is how I'm doing these chains. You can get a circle like that, and like that looks fine. And now what I'm gonna do, they should be actually a little bit thicker, but that's okay. We'll just draw it thin. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take an eraser, and erase the center part of those so that it leaves a nice outline of black there. Actually, I'm going to redo those because they need to be a little bit thicker. But that is how I drew the initial few. And then I would just take this layer like this, these black rings, or these colored out rings like that. And I would just copy paste them a dozen times. Look at all these copy. Those are all just copies of like small sections of the chainmail that are just copied over and over. Because I'm not going to be redrawing 100 different links or 1,000 different links. Let's go 8. 8 is fine. Let's go. One like that. One like there, and another one here. We just need to fill in that spot. It doesn't need to look super good. There we go. Beauty of digital copy paste. I could never do traditional artwork. I am too much of a cheat and a hack with digital art. I love it too much to be able to undo, copy paste, all of that good stuff. It's not really cheating, but it sometimes feels like cheating to me. Actually, no, let's go like this. Keep that low like there. I'm okay with both. Digital is easier. I definitely think it's easier. If you can do traditional art of any kind, I'm always very impressed. I think anyone who can do traditional art, I think anyone who enjoys traditional art is very, very impressive. That means you're very impressive, Nocti. Wow, look at you. I'm so impressed. There we go. Let's actually go underneath here. We've already gone over. We'll just have to commit to having all these over and just know that nobody is going to notice. Nobody. Actually, you know what? We can just erase it like that. Voila. Now it looks like it's underneath. Some of these things aren't matching correctly. What's forward and what's foreground, what's background though, but oh well. There we go. That has filled in our last little bit needed. This one right here, for some reason, needs to be darker. Go. Whoop. I'm messing up on this eraser. I'm trying to go too fast. When you try to go too fast, that's when mistakes happen. Better to go slow and do it right the first time. But I hate needing to go slow. Would you believe I don't like doing art? Would you believe me if I said I dislike drawing? It's not very fun to me. It is slow work and boring work, and it never comes out how you want it to. I often am perfectly fine with the final products. I feel like I'm the opposite of a lot of artists. Because a lot of artists, they like the process of drawing, but they don't like the final result. They look at their final result and go, I don't really like this one. I guess it's okay. Or they look at their old stuff and go, I was so bad back then. I always like my final products. I think even when they are not the way that I want them to be, that it was still like, wow, I did that. I accomplished that. That's super cool. Look at it. Look at how cool it is. Like, I look at this and go like, damn, I fucking did that. I mean, there's plenty of stuff here that I could change. I could change the shading there. I could adjust, like, a lot of stuff here. But I look at it and go, wow, I fucking did that. That's amazing. I'm amazing. Holy poop. But the process of drawing, the actual, like, sitting down and is so tedious and tiresome. That's not the part that I enjoy. Nocti, you're too sweet. You can't be giving me all these compliments for free. It'll give me a bigger head than I already have. Look at me, I'm all head. I'm all just cup and noodle. No arm, no legs, single hand. Oh god, the ego. My ego is rising. Oh god, it's getting even bigger. This is what has happened. Now I have a tiny head and a huge head and a tiny hand. Look at this tiny hand. What am I supposed to do with this tiny hand, Nocti? What am I supposed to do with this tiny hand, Nocti? Now I gotta, like, now I gotta just this mismatched sized hand. And draw angrily now. So, I guess we've got our rings done. Let's add just a light. Put yourself on, pat yourself on the back and say, good job, Mio. Well, I mean, that's what I normally do. I don't have an issue with imposter syndrome. Like, a lot of people have imposter syndrome where they're just like, no, people are giving me compliments, but I'm sure that they're just making it up, or they're just being nice to me. Oh, I don't have a problem with that. I think I'm awesome. I think I'm awesome. I think what I do is good. I don't think what I do is better than a lot of people, but better than a lot of artists, but I think what I do is good. It's just the actual, like, sitting down and doing it that I don't enjoy. But I will tell you what, despite having said all that, even though I just said all that, love to see confidence. Yeah, if I got nothing else, I definitely have confidence. But I'll tell you what, despite the fact that I said all that stuff, I enjoy drawing on stream far more than I enjoy drawing for myself. And I've been enjoying drawing for myself more after I started the channel. Like, the amount that I draw now, when I draw now, I still wouldn't call it fun. I still wouldn't say, compared, like, drawing versus not drawing, I wouldn't say I have more fun drawing than doing nothing. But this, I am enjoying it more than I have ever enjoyed it in my life. And it's because it's on stream, because I get to chat with people like you, Nocti. Having you here is super enjoyable. Talking to people, that's what I love. I love talking to people. And so this right now is fun because I get you to talk to. I get to talk to you. That makes this fun for me. And my hands are just kind of doodling, just doing a little something. But it's gotta go pretty light and pretty gray like that. And so getting to draw for the stream has absolutely improved my attitude quite a bit. I now have a much better attitude towards drawing, a much better relationship with drawing than I used to have. Oh, shoot. We gotta... Oh, shoot. Well, I guess it's okay. Just don't, go behind the lines. Like that. I'm gonna have to do 2 color layers. One on the bottom, one on the top. This is chain color higher. Which is very, very nice. The channel has been a blessing to me, to be honest. It has improved my attitude towards a lot of work in a lot of ways. Chain color lower. I have worked more, done more creative work, drawing, recording, whatever. I've done more creative work over the last year for this channel than I have ever done than the entire rest of my life combined. That's great. I think it is great. Like, all my life I've wanted to do creative stuff and have acquired some talents to do so. Not always a lot of talent, but usually some talent to do so. And I've always tried to find an avenue, some sort of road that I can travel down to where I can use it. I can use those skills. And streaming so far has been a very, very good avenue, a very, very good road to walk down, which lets me use those skills along the way and improve those skills. It's forced me to improve those skills as well. And so I'm very thankful that I started the channel. I don't know if I'll quit one day. I don't want to. At least not yet. But I have a feeling that I will be very thankful for this time, no matter how long or short it is, no matter how big or small I become. I have a feeling it's gonna be... I'm going to enjoy this a lot. I'm making this darker, and then I'm going to just use these color selections. I might change the color later on. I can just do the whole layer at once. Let's stabilize this a little bit. Nah, I guess stabilization isn't going to be very helpful. It makes it slower. Here's the thing about this one too, is I am purposely trying to fight perfectionist tendencies. With this chain, as with a lot of my art, I'm drawing outside the lines, and I'm not caring. It's kind of nice to know that, honestly, your work is great, and I hope you continue streaming more. The encouragement is welcome and appreciated, Nocti. Thank you very much. I've been watching your VODs occasionally, and I hope that you continue as well, because I think that they are very enjoyable. And of course, I want to have more streams together, more collabs and stuff in the future. Because finding a group of friends and colleagues and stuff as a VTuber is also very, very enjoyable. That it feels special that you can be doing this with other people. And as you all, like, you know, try to gain audiences and stuff, become successful entertainers. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't, sometimes you'll stay small. That you have people who you know like you, that have your back, that want to see you succeed, and that you enjoy spending time with, and that you're thankful for doing this with, regardless of, well, whatever happens. Goodle, how can I not try my best? You know, you better try your best. I just realized I still have my angry eyebrows on. I still got my angry eyebrows on. Grr, Nocti, you better try your best. Nocti, you're gonna try your best, right? You're gonna keep trying your best, right? If you don't, nothing would happen. Nothing would happen. Nothing will happen if you don't try your best. I'm not gonna be mad. We might tease you. We'll certainly do that. You can just keep being you and having fun, honestly. Honestly, you don't even need to try your best all the time. You can be lazy sometimes. You can say, like, you know what? Today, I'm being lazy. I'm gonna try less than my best. I'm gonna do less. And give yourself a nice break. Honestly, just have a good attitude. That's the real thing I want to encourage, is just have a good attitude. They are nice. They are chill. Oh, whoa. They are nice and chill. Ooh, woo. I agree with this statement. Ooh. Do you think I'll be able to finish this chainmail here in like an hour? Like all of the chainmail, these like each little individual rings? I think an hour might be enough. But I don't think I'll be able to do anything else after that, so I think I'll just have to end it. Like, finish the drawing there and just call it done. Without any extra shading, maybe just flower after that, and that's it. I really hope I get to record music more, and like some of my own music, because I have a lot of songs, but very few that I've ever recorded, and very few that I would ever consider finished. A whole lot of 75% done songs. Usually it's because a Goodle original. There's so many of those, Nocti. There's so many Goodle originals out there. But I haven't recorded anything yet. And I've played a few on stream, but most of them are like 75% done mostly because I don't have all of the lyrics worked out. I have a few songs with either complete or mostly complete lyrics. And I like them a lot, but the music, the melodies come, especially the chords and melodies and stuff, they come easier to me than the lyrics do. I'm often unsatisfied with my lyrics at first, or I write myself into a corner where I'm looking for something very specific and can't find exactly what I'm looking for. And I hope the other thing is, like, I feel like I have tried to do music writing streams before, and I might do some in the future where I like try to write lyrics and stuff, but I don't think it's very entertaining for the audience or for me, because if I have a melody worked out, I mean, music writing I feel like is a whole lot of, for me, just repeat the same thing over and over, and maybe just repeat the same thing over and over 100 times, but slightly different this time. It's just like, oh, let me try this same thing with one different note and see how that sounds. Okay, now let me try the same thing with one different note and see how that sounds. All right, now one different note and see how that sounds. And I feel like that's not very entertaining. Or sometimes it's just me silently just thinking for like a straight like 2 minutes, where it's just like me being silent and trying to think of like a specific word or a specific thing, not playing music, not talking. Occasionally you just hear me go, what do I do? And then I go back to not speaking or talking. And so I feel like most of my writing needs to happen off stream. However, here is the catch-22. Here is the double-edged sword of that. I write better off stream, but if I don't do it on a stream, I'm usually way too lazy to start. The reason I stream drawing is because I'm very lazy, and if I did not do drawing streams, I would not draw. I probably would not draw very much if I didn't schedule it as a stream. Streaming has forced me to draw more often because I commit to it. I make a schedule, you know? Like, I schedule it on my channel and make it public and show people that there's going to be a stream. And it kind of forces me to draw for, like, you know, a couple hours every week. The same thing happens with writing, or with writing music, composing. That's fair for some reason. I'm also more productive during streams than I am off streams. Yeah. I think I'm more productive off stream, but, or I should say, what I get done off stream is more than what I get done on stream. Like 2 hours off stream is, I complete more than I complete 2 hours on stream. But it's very rare for me to start to like working off stream. I need to be like in the right mood to do it, or I need to like force myself to do it, and I end up not doing it very much. And so I end up creating more on stream than I do off stream, simply because of how rare off stream stuff is. So it's a catch-22. Like, do I just prioritize off stream stuff but not do it very, very often, or do I prioritize on stream stuff and it is both like harder, maybe a little bit worse. Also, for as far as music goes, like less entertaining, not very entertaining, and I don't know which one I prefer. If I could somehow motivate myself to continue doing stuff off stream, that would be great. Maybe instead of like writing on stream, maybe like every couple of weeks just showing off what I've done off stream. Like, hey, here's a new like karaoke stream where I'm just singing everything I've written over the last 2 weeks. Or if I do like a the drawing thing is so nice because it's once a week, or like twice a week dedicated times. Recording music cannot be. That's what sucks. I can't say once a week, every single week, I'm going to release something. That is impossible. That is impossible to adhere to for music. So I don't know how I can keep myself consistent like that. But maybe I'll find a way. Hopefully I'll find a way. Maybe in the future. There we go. Very messy blue. That's it. It's over this layer? Oh, you gotta be higher. There we go. One really nice thing about having the channel as well is that it is an archive of things I've created. Like, after a year or after 2 or 3 years, I can look back and see literally everything I've done, as long as my channel doesn't get deleted, because YouTube might just delete my channel and everything will be gone. But I could look back on, see every video I've ever done, all the artwork I've ever posted, all the music I've ever recorded, and feel very proud of all of it. Because if it was gone forever, if it was just like post an art and then like I don't have any backup or anything, then that would feel very bad. I want to be able to see the stuff I've done. Come on. Come on, you just let me rotate it earlier. There you go. I do need to back up a lot of my videos and stuff, though. I need a backup on like a hard drive, just in case YouTube decides to delete everything because they think I'm breaking the rules or something. Just in case anything goes wrong, because everything is automated. And you never know, it's kind of luck, bad luck, good luck, how the algorithm and the system treats you. Sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. So just in case luck doesn't go my way one day, I want to make sure I'm prepared to just pick up right up with like a new channel, upload all the old content once again. And just keep going. So I need like a backup hard drive. I have one for one of my computers. But not my streaming computer right now. Half of my stuff is on one computer, half of my stuff is on another computer. At least you get to cherish the memories as well. Yeah. Cherishing memories is hard if you have a bad memory. Nocti. And I got a terrible memory. Or at least, maybe I should say, I kind of choose to have a bad memory. I can remember things that I like try to remember, things that I want to remember. I can remember pretty dang well. But a lot of, as I've gotten older, I've realized that when I remember new things, when there's like, oh, I remember all of the D&D stats and all of the lore from this thing, or all of the things about this person, that as I go into different stuff, I start forgetting old stuff that I used to have memorized, mostly just because I haven't talked about it or thought about it in a while. And a whole lot of when I try to remember stuff, it seems like I kind of have to choose between which knowledge I prioritize in my mind. Do I want to remember birthdays and names of family members and where everyone lives and email addresses and important stuff like that? Do I want to remember schedules and when I'm supposed to be meeting people and doing stuff? Do I want to remember all of the albums that my favorite band has released and what year they've come out? Who played on each album? What the lineup differences were on each of them? Do I want to remember all of the secrets in this one video game? Well, you can have some of those things, but you can't have all of those things, at least not for me. And so I kind of have to decide which things do I want to prioritize, which things do I want to focus on remembering, and which things am I just going to let myself forget and just go like, oh, I'm not wasting mental energy on that. I'm just going to choose to forget that and just not worry about it. A lot of things I just choose to forget, or choose to like not put any effort into remembering, basically, to save space for other things. And so I feel like if I didn't have a backup, if I didn't have a like backup hard drive, I probably wouldn't remember a lot from my channel, a lot of the stuff I've done for my channel. There's certainly a lot of times when I'm playing a game and I forget what I've already done in the game, on stream at least. Not really off stream. Off stream I'm very good, but on stream I don't really remember what I've already done. Because I'm more focused on like talking and thinking about other stuff. And I'm not really focusing on remembering the game itself. Do you ever find that you are worse at video games when you are streaming or when you are playing with other people or in front of other people? I often find that I'm worse at video games. I am much worse at video games, assuming I'm good at video games to begin with. I'm sure you're good, right? You're fine, right? I find that there are 3 tiers of how good I am at a video game. There's me playing by myself. Sure, let's go with that. Yeah, you're good, right? You're good. There's me playing by myself, where I'm pretty dang good. There's me playing on stream, where I'm okay. I'm decent. I am not embarrassing. Well, most of the time. It's usually things that I've forgotten rather than like aiming or platforming mess up. It's usually just like, oh wait, no, I forgot that I have this item. I'm so fucking stupid. And it was because I forgot something. On stream, I forget stuff very easily because I'm just not paying attention as much. And then there is playing with like a friend. If I am playing with a friend, I am significantly worse than any other time. And that is because all my mental energy is on the friend. I'm not really thinking about the video game at all. Not even like what's going on screen. Like I'm so focused on like wanting to talk and have fun with my friends and like enjoying ourselves and doing that like I can complete the video game with them, but I am like so unconcerned with doing good. In fact, sometimes I might even be more likely to just kind of fuck around and be silly and do bad on purpose. But then when I need to actually sit and like focus on stuff, to be like, yeah, maybe I'll do fine, but chances are I'm probably just like not thinking about it much. Having games with friends just makes it more fun if it ain't perfect. Yeah. One of my friends gets very frustrated very easily with video games. Like if there's a difficult section and we keep on dying kind of thing, like he will get very, very frustrated very fast. And it's usually at like a platforming section where we have to like jump on platforms or over gaps or something. And I'm much better at those than he is. And so I will usually finish those much faster than him, where like I definitely am focusing more on just trying to make the game enjoyable, joke around, and make them laugh, that kind of thing, that I'm usually not focusing too much on doing the video game good. I can't remember who it was, which one of my mutuals. I like messed up because I forgot about something. Like there was something I forgot about on in a game. I was just like, oh, I'm so fucking stupid. I forgot this thing, and I was like really upset. Cause like it was some sort of like frustrating mess up, and they just said like, it's all right. Streamer brain is different, and just that line, streamer brain is different, is very, very true and very, very funny to me. I've remembered it ever since. Let's see. Other home games. I played Plate Up recently with a group of friends, and I had fun while I was watching them do all the work. I supervised and took smoke breaks. Also, hello, Kristen. I love this model. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you? I'm doing great. How are you? We're talking about streams, and we're talking about playing video games with friends, and how I feel like I'm worse at video games when I'm playing with friends than I do when I'm playing alone. And sometimes when I'm playing on stream, I also feel the video gets me pleased. Yeah, look. Wee. Hi, Kristen. Wee. Meow, meow. Meow, meow. You. Oh, no, wait, you're over here in the, It does right. My finger is very talented. And look, it even retracts. Watch this. If you, I'm a noodle soup. And if I slurp it up like this, there it's gone. Oh God. And now it's back. So, I think it's good. I'm very glad it looks the way it does. I mean, it looks very cool. Also, don't mind the fake mustache. I'm just a normal noodle soup, but I'm doing art right now, so I gotta wear the mustache. We're doing a cool skeleton with vines. That's what we're working on right now. And we've already drawn pretty much the whole skeleton. I'm just coloring in the chain one by one, which is very annoying. It's very annoying to draw it in one by one. And then I'm just gonna go over all of it with a basic color to noticeable. So cool, thank you. Thank you so much. So this is basically just the whole stream. We're just chatting, and I'm just drawing in these circles. I'm just coloring in these circles with this blue. That's our relaxing, chill art stream for today. Is just a bunch of blue lines, and we can chat. Kristen, do you play? Came from Twitch. Were you watching a stream? Were you streaming? What were you doing? So we got a bunch of streamers here, all enjoying each other's company. What were you doing or watching over there? It's nice having a chill streamer on YouTube. Yeah, my art streams I definitely describe as more chill, and I do some study streams, some Japanese study streams as well that would definitely qualify as more chill. Although sometimes I get pretty excited when I get stuff right. But I would say it's very different from like I guess some of my gameplay streams are pretty chill too, but very different from my collabs. Watching smaller VTubers than I stream myself. Well, welcome. Nocti in the chat also streams. We got a bunch of cool streamers here. And thank you for supporting small streamers. I like doing that too. On Twitch, on YouTube, doesn't matter. So what kind of stuff do you stream on Twitch? I'm guessing you stream on Twitch. I do a combination of games, art, music, and Japanese practice. Those are the 4 things that I like spending my time on. Games, a lot of games. Drawing, practicing Japanese, which I'm trying to learn, and some music. And maybe some ASMR here and there. Games and just chatting, that's awesome. I do love chatting. Like, chatting is one of my favorite things to do, if it isn't obvious right now. But I always feel like I need to do something on stream, so I haven't gotten used to doing just chatting stuff. Unless it's just chatting with a partner. Like, if it's with a friend and it's just the 2 of us just chatting, I love that. I love doing that a whole lot. If it's just me, I always feel like I want to be doing something else as well. But yeah, the funny part is most of my streams end up being pretty chill, I feel like. But I would not describe myself as my normal attitude as being chill. I would describe my normal attitude as, like, when I'm interacting with people, as being very excitable, being very more like a puppy dog, just super excited and laughing and joking all the time. You're chaotic. That's funny. That's very funny. Just very all over the place. Like, the energy that I have when I'm collabing with other people is much louder. It's much jokier. And that is my normal social attitude. That's my normal attitude when talking with people. This right now, like when I'm a bit chiller like this, is I would not say my normal social attitude. I would say that this is just sort of it's almost even a little unusual for me. Goodle's fun to hang out with. Ooh, no, you ooh, no, you stop. You're fun to hang out with. 100,000 out of 10? That math don't even... Wait a minute. 100,000 divided by 10. So only 10,000? Oh, come on, Nocti. I'm at least 100,000 times 10, right? Don't divide by 10. You know I'm just kidding. But this sort of, I've been thinking, like, I mean, I don't really need to lean into the chillness, I don't think. Like, I was thinking, like, maybe I should, since so many of my art streams like this end up being kind of more chill. You know, the background music is chill. My talking is more low-key. I was like, maybe I should lean into that. Maybe I should just do, like just be a chill streamer nonstop and give people a nice chill channel to go to. But then I was like, I don't think I could play video games that way a lot of times. I feel like a lot of the video games I like playing, I get very excited for, and I laugh too much, and I joke about stuff too much, and I'm too raunchy sometimes, that I don't think I could commit to making my entire channel all chill all the time. I'll have to just have that nice mix where, oh, the drawing streams are chill, and the, like, these types of streams are chill, like this stream over here, but people pick and choose which ones they like. Maybe some people would like the chill streams and not the excited streams, and maybe some people would like the excited streams and not the chill streams, and that's okay if they only like half of my streams. It's fine to have a variety. You're supposed to be asleep. You have to pick up from your best friends. The pickup line from my friend is stuck in my head. What's the pickup line? What's that pickup line? Pickup lines can be fun. Sometimes they can be super cringe, but if it's just like a fun pun, then that's sometimes fun. Are you lost, baby girl? Are you lost, baby girl? Why do you ask? I'm assuming there's like a part 2. Who, me? Lost? Teehee, teehee. That's the pickup line? Oh, that's the whole pickup line. Are you lost, baby girl? I thought it was the setup for like, here's the setup and then here's another part afterwards. Like, are you lost, baby girl? Because I can draw you a map to my bedroom or something like that. And be like, ah, yeah, there's the pickup line. Pickup lines are dangerous territory because I love puns. I love cheesy jokes and I love puns a whole lot. But also pickup lines are always a little creepy. And so you always just like, I like the wordplay. I like the wordplay of it. I think that's clever, but also it's creepy. And so it's like, hey, you know what? Give me a pun, give me a wordplay, but don't hit on me. Give me the wordplay part, but like, don't hit on me. How about that? And so it's always like I gotta appreciate the parts that I can appreciate. Sometimes if they're really smooth though, then you just go like, oh, okay, that wasn't even creepy. That was just really clever and smooth. Then that's a good one. I appreciate those. You don't often get those though, but does have smooth ones. Smooth ones are not. I feel like a lot of smooth ones are, you kind of have to like do them in context where you can't just like do them to everyone, you know? You gotta like do them to the right person in the specific moment where like, oh, this was written just for this one moment, you know? Yeah. And it's just that like perfect line for that perfect moment. That's what makes it smooth. Which is hard because like that sucks because then you can't like share them with other people. If other people can't like do the thing where they just memorize a bunch of pickup lines and just recite them like jokes. But that's okay. How far am I? Whoa, I'm actually farther than I thought. I'm already to the top of the head. I should say I'm already at the like top of the head. Not too, but like, you know, I'm getting there. After this skeleton is done, and this is going to be the last night that I draw the skeleton, I've already decided that this is like, I think the 4th night that I've been working on this bone boy, this very good bone boy, who's a very nice gentleman. The person who created it, who whose character idea I am drawing. This is not my character, but someone else's character. The person who created this character said that they are a very friendly person. They are an undead, like, you know, revenant. They're like an undead skeleton knight. But that they are very personable and love talking, and they want to do good for other people. And they sound like Tim Curry. They have a voice like Tim Curry, which I think is delightful. And they suggested the name Nigel Chattlesworth Reeves, I think it was, which is Nigel Chattlesworth Reeves is a very funny name for a kind, friendly skeleton. What games do I play? I really love retro games, old school platformers and stuff like that, and any modern games that are like old school retro games. And so one of my favorite series is Metroid. I love Metroid a whole lot. I love Zelda. I love modern games. I love Hollow Knight and Cuphead and games like that are kind of platformer action games. And so I play a whole bunch of those. And of course I love Pokemon as well. I like JRPG style games. So a lot of old retro games. That tends to be what I play the most and what I have been playing on the channel. Recently, I've been playing Pokemon Green, the original Japanese version. In Japanese. I have been playing Shantae series. I've been playing through the Shantae series because those were all on sale and I'd never played those before, so I'm going through those right now. Dicey Dungeons, love that. Oh, strategy games too. Fire Emblem, Dicey Dungeons. I love strategy games. Play Pokemon on your DS. On stream or just in life? Because I also want to play it on stream. I have been looking into buying some equipment to stream older systems like a GameCube or a DS, because they have that stuff. They have capture cards and things that work with DSs, and you know, sometimes specific things that work with older stuff like Wii's and GameCubes. Sometimes you need to do like a workaround, like, oh, you use this other item to do that isn't really designed for it, but you use it for it, and then use this other program that works with it. And you could use like ROMs and stuff, of course. If your computer can handle it, you could just use a ROM. Sometimes emulators don't work that well for modern stuff like DS or past. I've played some DS ROMs in my life in the past, and it kind of overclocked my, at the time, not a gaming computer. But on a good computer, it would work decently. But there's a lot of games on the DS that I would love to play on stream, so I'm probably going to get some capture card software, some capture software for that in the future. Non-stream, just for myself to relax, The DS is such a good system. It has so many good games. DS and 3DS just together, they kind of are similar in my mind. Like, I don't, even though they're totally unique systems with totally unique games that, like, one doesn't work on the other kind of thing, it always feels connected in my mind. The 3DS definitely has a lot of the best DS games, I think. There's some good DS games. I remember it didn't have very much for a while. For me, like, I did not buy a DS right when it came out, and mostly because it didn't have very many games that I wanted on it yet, and it took me a couple of years. It took me quite a while to get a DS, and even when I ended up getting it, it still only had like a couple of games that I was really interested in. It ended up being worth it. Like, those couple of games were pretty dang good, but the 3DS, I felt like, had, you know, maybe it took a couple of years to get a huge catalog, but a lot of the games that came out on 3DS I was interested in immediately, and I still play a lot of 3DS games. I don't still have a regular DS, but I still play my 3DS constantly. A lot of those games. You have three but one is not usable? That stinks. I haven't used a 3DS. Yeah, I think 3DS has some of my favorite, a couple of my favorite handheld games. Otherwise, the Game Boy Advance has a lot of my favorite portable games. But the 3DS has some really good ones. I think one of my favorite portable games, one of my favorite, besides Golden Sun on the Game Boy Advance, because Golden Sun is one of my favorite games of all time, the Metroid Samus Returns the remake of number 2 that was released on the 3DS is one of my favorite handheld games of all time. It is so good. It's also Metroid, and I love Metroid, so it's I am biased. It does have a special place in my heart, but it is such a perfect Metroid game. It's such a good game. I can pick that up and play that constantly. I can restart a game and just play the first half, continue a game that I've already started like months ago, and just replay it the second half again, and just play for a few hours, and I always love it. Like, every point in that game is a fun point in that game where I'm enjoying myself. Never a point where I'm just like, okay, once you get past this beginning part, then it gets fun. Like, no, every part seems fun. Good job, Mercury Steam. The saviors, question mark, of the Metroid franchise, it seems like. Because it was because of that 3DS game by Spanish developers Mercury Steam that Metroid Dread even exists. They had never really done a big name game before, except for one Castlevania game. Mercury Steam did that one Castlevania game that was like a third-person brawler. Like, if you remember that Castlevania game that wasn't a side-scroller, it was like a behind-the-back, like, slasher, like, brawler game. I can't remember exactly what it was about, but people didn't really like it, as far as I remember. And it was very, very different from most Castlevania games. And I'm pretty sure that was because of, you know, director, like, you know, type of, I'm pretty sure that's because, like, you know, Konami wanted a specific thing, and Mercury Steam made the thing. Yeah, I don't know very much about the game myself, but I think it came out on, like, the PlayStation or something in, like, the late 2000s, early 2000s, maybe, like, mid-2010s? Earlier mid-2010s, I think? Can't remember when it was. Maybe it was later than that, but I don't think it was particularly well liked. That was Mercury Steam's biggest game. All their other games were small, and they hadn't really done too many big things. You were 10 years old? I played some games when I was 10. Not 10, you mean 17? That's significantly different. Also, I don't know exactly when it was, so. But then Mercury Steam was, for some reason, given the, like, allowed to remake Metroid 2 by Nintendo. I have no idea why Nintendo decided to go with them. But they knocked it out of the fucking park. Like, all their previous games, which, like, some of them were given decent, good reviews, but they never got big hits. But after all of their, like, you know, all of their games with mediocre success before that, they get Metroid 2, and they just make probably the best Metroid game to ever exist. Competence-wise, not necessarily, not necessarily in terms of, like, world or aesthetic or uniqueness or any of the things that people like about Metroid, but just, like, as far as making it the most solid game, gameplay-wise, mechanically-wise, they made one of the best Metroid games ever. Definitely one of my favorite Metroid games ever. And then it was because of that. Oh, you're gonna go to sleep? Thanks for staying and talking, Kristen. It was really enjoyable talking to you. I'll just be here, like, rambling, you know? So feel free to drop by anytime you want. Have a good night. So, Night, Kristen. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep on rambling about Metroid because I love that topic. I love Metroid. And then it was like after Mercury Steam made that Metroid 2 remake, Samus Returns, it was because of that game. I'm glad, Nocti, because I can ramble forever. It was because of that game. It was because of that remake. Like, Metroid had been sort of dead before that. Metroid was not going to get any new game. Metroid Prime 4 was not really going to be happening. Like, I don't think it was announced at that point, but the director or producer or whatever of Metroid, of the Metroid series, saw the remake, saw what Mercury Steam did with it, like saw how good it was and what they did mechanically and stuff with it, and said, this is it. This is so cool. I want to make another Metroid game. And he came out and said he would not have done it if it wasn't for Mercury Steam. It was because of Mercury Steam, what they did with the technology, that gave him faith in a new Metroid game. And so we got a new Metroid game thanks to Mercury Steam's just excellent performance, excellent creation. And that's what gave us Metroid Dread, which they did very, very similarly to the remake in terms of sort of how it feels gameplay-wise, like the speed of it, what you kind of have to do, the general gameplay and aiming and stuff is very, very similar, a lot of the same systems. And Dread is a very good game, and it was potentially the end of the Metroid main storyline, but it was also a successful game financially. Like, it sold a whole bunch and was very, very popular and well reviewed. And so that could open up more Metroid games in the future as well. Potentially by Mercury Steam, that might stay with them for a while. And I will always enjoy more Metroid games, even if they are different, because Metroid Dread was a very good game, but it also did not feel a lot like a Metroid game to me. It was definitely more action, less Metroid. Because Metroid has always been a search action game. Which is, like, we call them Metroidvanias in English, because Metroid and Castlevania, not even old Castlevania, but like modern Castlevanias, are Metroid games. Honestly, we could just call them Metroid games. We don't really need the Vania in them, since Castlevania has not always been a Metroidvania, but Metroids have always been Metroidvanias. That really, Castlevania is kind of butting in on Metroid's territory, if you feel about it. But Symphony of the Night was a hugely popular and successful and beloved game, so fine, they get to be in there. And because they had a bunch of sequels after that were all Metroidvanias, but still, Castlevania wasn't a Metroidvania until Circle of the Night. I just feel the need to say that. Metroid was there first. Talking about the OG. Give respect. Oh, sorry. And I love Metroidvanias. And in Japanese, I think it was just a recent term. I don't know if it was always the term, but they described Dread, I believe, as a search action game. And I think I saw someone saying that search action was the Japanese way of saying Metroidvania. Because obviously, in Japanese, they're probably not going to use the English term Metroidvania. Similarly to how they might not use the term roguelike, which is a Western term. They might use the term roguelike, I don't know, but it just seems likely that they probably have their own term for it. And they described Metroid as a search action game, which I like that phrase. I kind of like that better than than Metroidvania, to be honest. A search action game. Now, to be fair, action game is what they call platformers. Action game is the Japanese term for a platformer game. And that doesn't feel totally accurate. You know, an action game being like Mario is an action game in Japanese. You know, that's the thing. Like old school Mario 1, Super Mario Brothers for the NES. That's an action game because in Japanese, action game means platformer game. And so that doesn't feel totally accurate to me. That feels kind of like a misnaming. Like, I definitely feel like action game requires like weapons, you know? Weapons or fighting or something like that. But search action for Metroidvanias, because Metroidvanias do have weapons. Metroidvanias do usually have weapons or combat in some way. There's very rarely a Metroidvania game where there's no combat and it's just searching. And so search action feels very fitting for a Metroidvania. I kind of like that term. Because then it also lets me talk about Metroid Dread as saying this search action game, Metroid Dread, came out on the Nintendo Switch 2020? I think it's 2021? Has it been 1 or 2 years? Metroid Dread feels much more action, much less search. Most Metroid games are much more search, much less action. Where there's action, there's obviously plenty of action. You're running around shooting enemies constantly. But honestly, you don't need to shoot a lot of the little enemies most of the time. You really just need to shoot the big enemies, just sort of the bosses. And the doors. You gotta shoot those doors. What you like most of the shooting in Metroid game is towards doors to open them up. And blocks. You gotta fucking bomb and shoot every block in existence. Man, there's so much block violence in Metroid. You don't really need to shoot the enemies at all, but you gotta shoot those fucking blocks. You gotta bomb those fucking blocks. Reveal all those secrets. And so a lot of Metroid games, you know, leaned heavily on search. Trying to find your way around the map, trying to find which routes were open for you, trying to find the rooms that had the upgrades or the bosses, and then unlock new areas. Metroid Dread was much less about searching, much more about action. Not only did they have, you know, cutscenes and stuff, and not really QuickTime events. They were kind of QuickTime events. They were basically QuickTime events, but they just felt slightly different. The counter move definitely functions kind of like a QuickTime event, or like other like counter moves, but especially if it was in like a camera change where it's just like you can't move anywhere, you're just sort of stuck in this camera angle, and then you gotta just press it at the right time. It's basically a QuickTime event. So there were cutscenes and QuickTime events. There were what was my train of thought on? It was a much more linear game where they would have so many regression blockers, I guess I would call them, instead of progression blockers that blocked your path forward. It blocked your path backwards, and it would, like, you would go through a door and the door would collapse behind you, and it was the game saying you can't go back there anymore. Like, you have to find your way around and can't go back for a while. And that is very unlike any Metroid game. A Metroid game that says you cannot go back there anymore is not a Metroid game. That is some weird other game. And that was very heavy. That was very prominent. They did that a lot in Metroid Dread. Like, every other room that you went in would have a door or something collapse behind you that made you unable to go back. And so it very much like kept you moving forward linearly, and only really allowed you to go back and search through rooms again when they wanted you to. When they said, like, okay, now that you have got these upgrades, now you're allowed to go back, but only part of the way. You're not allowed to go all the way back through everything until you get the super late game upgrades. And so that felt much less searchy. The other thing that they did that is honestly, like, I didn't enjoy about it as much, but it also is much better design. Like, it makes for a better game for 99% of people except for me, which is they did this thing that a lot of people, I feel like, didn't realize they did. It's kind of cute that you have this much knowledge on it. Some of these are, it feels less like fact, you know? It feels more like just sort of stating what I was seeing on screen. So then there was this level where there was this enemy on this, where it's just, I feel like a little kid explaining Pokemon to, like, their parents. It's like, so then there's this one Pokemon, right? His name is Charmander. He's a lizard with a fire on his tail. And my parents are just like, wow, you know so much about this game. And it's just like, well, I mean, how could you not know about the game? It's right there. He's a fire lizard. Where, it probably sounds like I know a whole lot, but really I'm just sort of stating what's on screen. But I definitely like talking about it. It's fun to ramble about it. I could ramble about Pokemon a whole bunch if I wanted to. But one thing that they did in the game that is very, very good game design, but I didn't like it quite as much the way it was executed, was, first of all, one thing that they did that was really good. They improved the map. Like, obviously, video games, you gotta have a map in there. If you don't have a map in there anymore, then, like, what are you doing? And they improved the map so that you could see where all of the, like, certain types of like doors were, so that, oh, I have this weapon that can open green doors. You can now just select a green door and see where all of the green doors on that level are, and that's very helpful. That means you don't really need to search around the map a whole bunch. I mean, right there, you don't need to search as much is what I was talking about, but like, it is convenient. It is much, much easier and more convenient. It sort of improves your quality of life, where, okay, I don't need to be searching around the map, every little tiny corner of the map anymore. I can just press that green door and see where all the green doors are, and now I know where I can go. And that was a very good upgrade. One thing that I noticed is that often when you got a new item that unlocked new areas for you, oh, I got this new item, now I can go to all these new areas, the closest, like, door that uses that item, the closest place that you can unlock is always, like, you know, fairly close to where you get the item. So that if you're, like, looking at the map, you're like, oh, I got the item. Oh, look, there's a place 2 rooms away where I can use that item. And so naturally, you're going to go to that place first. And then you look at the map, and the second place to use that item is another 2 rooms away. And then the third place is another 2 rooms away, and another 2 rooms away, and that leads you to another area where you start a whole new area. And all of the other rooms, you, like, look at where the rooms are. Okay, so there's those 3 right in a line. And it's just like, I unlocked a thing, and there's those 3 places where I can use it right in a just straight line right next to me. Naturally, I'm gonna go to that straight line first, right? All the other places that you can unlock are really far away. They're just really far away, and they're really inconvenient to get to. And you would have to go, like, so far out of your way to get to them. But those other ones are right in a little line right here. And so they're kind of, they want to incentivize people to go that way. And they make it super close to you in like a straight line, so that you just follow the straight line, almost like breadcrumbs. Like breadcrumbs, or like candy, like luring Hansel and Gretel to the witch's house. Actually, I don't think Hansel and Gretel, they left breadcrumbs, but they weren't lured with, like, trail of candy, I don't think. But, and when they did that for everything. Like, after, like, maybe a third of the way through the game, half of the way through the game, I started realizing that's what they were doing. And the other thing I realized is that the game does not really reward you for exploring far away. Like, the game has the one place where you can go, and if you try to go anywhere else, it either stops you pretty quickly and says, nope, you just don't even try. Don't worry about going down this hallway. There's nothing for you there. Like, we're just going to stop you immediately. So, like, don't bother exploring there. Or, it will, like, if you go super far away, you know, there won't really be anything for you to do there. There won't be anything new you can do. And it'll have been like, why did you go all the way? It was right there next to you. So it ends up being not very worthwhile of a game to be searching around and exploring around. You should just kind of go where the nearest place to do it is, because that's where the game wants you to go. And so I personally, I did not enjoy that as much as older Metroid games, where you really can, like, just kind of go around your own way and just kind of go around at your own pace and decide where to go next. And sometimes you can get things in different orders, and it doesn't really matter which order you get stuff in. Sometimes there's only one place you can go, or sometimes there's only one place that leads to, the game progressing, but maybe there's a whole bunch of other little things you can do in between. Maybe you can get a bunch of, like, upgrades, or, like, small items, little health upgrades, little missile upgrades, weapon upgrades, if you go around instead of following the necessary path. But Dread didn't really do that. It just said, like, no, we have one direction that we want you to go, and we are going to give you nothing if you go in any other direction, or we're just going to stop you from going in those directions. So it was definitely less search. But I still think it's a amazing game. Like, it is, I absolutely love it as a game. I love playing it. The bosses are so fucking hard. That is another thing that Mercury Steam apparently just loves. They just love making hard fucking bosses. And that's also, like, the bosses were very kind of unusual for a Metroid game. Metroid bosses, sometimes, they often have needed you to retry them a couple of times. You get into the boss room, it shoots you and hurts you bad. You end up dying because you don't know when the right time to jump is, so you gotta, like, you keep on getting hit by these lasers, and then maybe you figure out how to jump good and which things to shoot, and by that time it's too late. You've already died, so you gotta retry a couple times. That's fairly normal in Metroid bosses, dying right before the boss, or dying during the boss and or saving right before the boss and, like, having to do it a couple of times. Dread kicked it up another notch to another level, where it not only became like, oh, you're not just going to be dying a couple of times, you might be dying, like, dozens of times. This is Cuphead at this point. This is Hollow Knight at this point. This is, like, hard fucking boss territory. This is Dark Souls at this point. You gotta not only memorize all these patterns, which might be many patterns that you need to recognize. You gotta recognize, like, a lot of different tells. Not only that, you gotta do it fast. You gotta recognize what's coming quickly and react to it quickly. And if you wait even for a second, you're getting fucking hit and wrecked. And that Metroid Dread definitely by far has the hardest bosses of any Metroid game, except for maybe some of the bosses in Metroid Prime games, but those were often for other, not because they were, like, super fast, but because they often just hit hard and killed you, or you had draining health or something. Thardus was pretty hard. No, wait, was it Thardus? No, it wasn't Thardus. It was the Omega Pirate was pretty hard in Metroid Prime 1 because it had the little enemies. It was hard in first person to be jumping around it. It was not a very good control scheme for that, but it was very dramatic. And the speed booster Ing in Metroid Prime 2 was pretty hard because are constantly being drained of health in the dark world and don't really have enough health to last very long in that fight at that point. But they were not really about pattern recognition, those games. There was a little bit of recognition of targets and patterns and things like that, but it wasn't like memorize complex patterns and react to quick tells of things. It was more just like try to avoid getting hit, and maybe you're fine. Dread had super hard stuff, which was something that they had started to add to the remake game. They didn't quite do it in the remake game for most of the time. The remake game, they mostly prioritized just making the Metroids super fucking cool and awesome. Some of the best Metroids in the series. The Metroids, the actual creatures. But the one new enemy that Mercury Steam added to their 3DS game, the like digger bot, it was a like drill mining excavating robot, like a giant robot. That bot was the hardest fight in the game because it was very much like Metroid Dread. It had very precise timing and controls, and you had to avoid, like, look at, find the tells and avoid like super damaging stuff, and you would often have to try quite a few times to get it the first time. And even on repeat, like, even if you're an expert at it and have replayed a bunch of times, it can still be tough because you gotta have it down super well. They apparently was like, that's what they like. When they get to add their own boss, it's like that. When they get to do a whole game, all the bosses are like that. It seems like Mercury Steam loves hard fucking boss fights. Never understood all of these are new knowledge to me. I love Metroid. It's my favorite game series by far. And almost because of my love of Metroid, I love the Alien movie series as well. Because it was inspired by Alien. So Alien and Aliens. Alien 1 and Aliens. Love both those movies. For very different reasons. You love Alien? That's awesome. You might like Metroid. Which Alien movie do you like the most? If you've seen like, you know, multiple ones, do you have a favorite or? Because I like the second half of Alien 1 a whole lot, and I like the second half of Aliens a whole lot. I think I like the second half of Alien more than I like the second half of Aliens, but I like the first half of Aliens more than I like the first half of Alien. And it's is confusing the way I say that, like when I say it that way, because of the Alien versus Aliens. But hey, you know what? That's their fault for naming them so similar. I don't know particularly your favorite one, but I like 1. Yeah, 1 is awesome. I watched it about a year ago again, like in full, the director's cut, I think. Might not have been the director's cut. Might have been the theatrical, but I think it was the director's cut. Most people, I think, tend to watch the director's cut stuff. Although I feel like it gets a little bit... And I had kind of forgotten how slow that movie gets going. It is maybe like a 2-hour movie, I think. Maybe like an hour and a half. The first 45 minutes to an hour, like it is a long time before they finally get to that planet, before they finally get to that asteroid and find the alien eggs. Like that is like 45 minutes into the movie or something like that, where they haven't been doing anything. I can't remember how long, but it was such a slow start, and I'd forgotten how long and slow and kind of boring that first half is. But then as soon as the alien gets on board, as soon as that facehugger gets on board, everything is awesome. Like everything from that on is just like so fun. Ye old movies had to use it for like runtime. Yeah. And that was before slashers became a really common thing too. So they could kind of choose their own pace, like, because as soon as Halloween, what was that 2 years after Alien? The same year as Alien? 78? Alien was 77? Alien was one of those years, I can't remember. It's 76, 70, oh, it might have been 79 actually. But Halloween would have probably come out at that point, and Friday the 13th had not come out. But Alien would have been made like around that same time. There wasn't an established like horror movie cliche trope yet. You know, there wasn't a lot of established horror movie pacing, like final girls or anything. Even though Ripley is a pretty quintessential final girl, like there wasn't all of this common tropes or language for it. And so they got to be slow, they got to be weird, they could kind of do whatever they wanted and be like super just a slow, boring build up to like a really cool, like sudden shift in everything in the second half, where like suddenly there's an alien on board and suddenly it's a horror movie. Yeah, it doesn't really feel like a horror movie for the first half quite much. It feels kind of like a slow, boring sci-fi movie. Maybe that's what's cool about it. Maybe that's what's so amazing about it, is people go for the sci-fi and then stay for the horror. But like the tagline was, "In space, no one can hear you scream," so they know they're going in for horror. It's not like it's surprising anyone. The one thing that I don't like about the first Alien movie is the design of the alien. Like, what's really smart is that they almost never show the alien full body. Like, it's always like in shadow, or you only see its tail or its feet or its head, or like just parts of it. And it makes it super scary and creepy, and it's awesome, and I love that so much. But at the very end of the movie, you see the alien in space, like, you know, after Ripley shoots him out into space, you see the alien in full floating around, and it looks fucking dumb. That full body suit looks fucking dumb in that shot, floating through space, and like when it gets like blasted and stuff. And maybe I don't know, maybe there was a way that they could have filmed that better, where it looked a little bit better. It does. It looks derpy. It kind of takes the wind. I mean, I'll tell you what, it's good that it happens at the very end when the alien is like defeated, because then that kind of like, after all this time being afraid of it, like, oh, okay, it looking derpy, now I'm not afraid of it anymore. That's it's okay if it's that at the very end as it's like dying, you know. But it's still like I've always like, I feel the word is regret, like, but it's not the right word. Like, I've always regretted that it looks that way. I shouldn't use the word regret because it's not me doing it, but it feels like regret. Like, that's how I feel. It's like, I regret that it looks like that. Because it should not look like that. It feels bad to look like that. Like, it should be different, and it isn't. But the rest of the alien on the Nostromo time is awesome, and I love it a whole bunch. It's just that one little thing. Now, for Aliens, it's the opposite. The designs of the aliens in Aliens are great. They're awesome, and the way that they move is also awesome. Like, we get to see full body aliens a little bit more, but they move so like cool and creepy, and it legitimately looks cool when they move. That I love the look and the designs of all the aliens in Aliens, including the queen, which is just, she's super awesome. Also, did I finish without even realizing it? I think I finished without even realizing it. I gotta delete this part and then recolor it, and then I think and color the flour and I'm done. It won't be 2 hours, 45 minutes, that kind of thing. Where is... Not that. No, it would have to be one of these ones. Well, there's one. And then is the next one over? Good. And is the next one over? Good. There. Excellent. It's really fun listening to me, Goodle. Thank you. I hope so. A lot of people who watch my videos, they like just kind of putting on the streams and keeping them in the background, you know? It definitely feels like that vibe, like the type of video, because that's often what I use for streams. Like quite often, if I'm watching a Twitch stream, I will be actively chatting. Like Twitch is a good place to be actively chatting and in the chat and throwing stuff at the streamer and doing redeems and things and commenting. Feels very active. But if I'm watching someone on YouTube, I'll probably just put it on the background and be watching it for a while I'm playing games or while I'm working or something. Excuse me. And I know that I am that for other people as well. I know that other people often just put on my streams and just put it on the background and just enjoy it. And I'm fine with that. Like I like that I get to be that for other people, because I like people who are that for me. And you often don't need them to be talking a whole bunch. Maybe I could just leave very calming and nice. See, that's what I was talking about earlier. Maybe I should just lean into being a calming, nice streamer where I don't get excited and I just kind of, or I don't get like, super loud or anything, and I just sort of stay kind of at this level, even when I'm playing other video games. But nah, I probably wouldn't be able to do that for everything. I feel like I gotta be laughing and yelling a whole bunch during some streams and not others. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We've got this chain color. It's way too dark. This is too dark of a blue, but I did it dark so I could see it better. And now we are going to alpha lock this. We're going to get a big one like this, and we're going to let's go a little bit brighter, a little bit like that, maybe like that, and then we're gonna go higher, like that, and we're just going to change all the color that way. Okay, it can be a little bit grayer than that. Trying to find just the right kind of blue color. It doesn't even necessarily need to be blue, but usually this sort of very light blue is good for metals, is good for silver metals, grayish metals. I might want something like that. And then make that very, no. Well, maybe it's like that. That's lower. Let's go higher. Oh, I don't hate that. It's funny that it's barely any different from just the outline, just the lines on its own, and then with the color is like almost no different. It is different with the blue, but this one might match the coloring of it a little bit more, a little bit better. Makes it a little bit more visible, but makes the bones in front a little bit less visible. Something like that is pretty good. It almost feels like a waste. Look at how similar the color is compared to the color being off. This is the color being off. This is the color being on. You can tell because you can't see the line somewhere, but like it's such a similar grayish color. It almost feels like a waste to do it, but honestly, I like this coloring the best so far. It lets you see the chainmail and the detail on it, and it still has the bones very prominent, like it kind of pops out of the picture at you, versus something like this. The detail on the chain is more evident, but it kind of makes the bones pop less. Like it sort of blends, like it makes the bones look a little bit blurrier when you're looking at it all together because your eyes are kind of attracted to this ring pattern. And this, it doesn't quite, it does pop a bit. Obviously pops less there. Obviously we're not going to do that. This one, it does pop a bit. This one doesn't pop very much. This one pops a bit. The blue, really I'm just avoiding because it's not similar to this color scheme. Like this gray is on the same color as this gray. So I think I'm gonna keep that. So that will be the color I go for. Now let's color in this flower in there. It's just a little sketchy flower, but let's just find a nice pink that we can do something with. So where is the... There it was. Yeah, we can do it on the same layer as that. All right, now let's try and find a good pink that goes along with this. Ooh, these greens, I think it was this green right there that I used for that one. So we gotta find a green that goes with, or a pink that goes with that one. And now we're getting into that really nice, like lime green and pink territory. Those are such good colors together. Sailor Jupiter colors and watermelon colors. So we gotta find a nice like that, you know, one that goes really nicely together with that one. That's pretty good. Maybe we should make it a little bit less saturated. Any of those would probably be good. Maybe it means a little bit grayer. The gray is not noticeable enough, but a little bit darker maybe. That dark might actually be really good. Yeah, that dark is pretty good. Let's go with that dark and just settle it. Oh, that's right. Hold on one sec. Now let's do plain coloring for this and then a highlight over it. Other coloring was not using bold like this, it was using an airbrush. But let me see what I can do with this. Oh, actually, no, that's fine. No, it's not fine. I need to do. I will do it the same. Actually, hold on. Cut. Cut. That's a good choice of pink for this picture. And now let's add that purple. Maybe a little bit saturated. saturated like that. Yes, good. Needs to be a little bit darker, maybe. Maybe it should be the tips instead. Is there a way to clip this? Layers locked. Not clipping on that one. I guess there's no way to clip it to that layer. I also think I need to choose a slightly different purple. Let me see what that looks like. This all the way around. Let's see. That pink like that. That pink and purple like that. Pretty good. Let's add it behind. That layer, paint layer 12. Oh, right. Why doesn't it move that anymore? Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to just keep it there, but let's just add a slight increase full size. Wrong layer. I guess it shouldn't. In that case, let me just do one other thing. It doesn't seem like I want to add any erasure like that, so let me instead just do one final layer. This. Make sure you hydrate and stretch Goodle. Okay, in that case, hold on one sec. Let me stretch my arm. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. All right, there we go. And stretch really nice. And thanks for the reminder, Nati. It's not as easy on YouTube when you got to do it manually. Even if it's manual, as long as you do it. As long as you do it, ooh. Alright, we'll see if this ends up looking good at all. And if we need to cut it back a little bit. That looks good. Yeah, that gives some nice line weight contrast to it. Okay. let's just keep it like that. Okay, we're all done. That's all I'm doing. I'm not fixing anything else. I am not doing any of the other fixes that I could be doing. Oh. That will simply be where we leave it. And you know what? I'm pretty pleased. Thank you. You're wonderful. There isn't really a place I can put this that makes it obvious, but maybe we can just keep it there where you can't really tell, but it's there if someone is looking for it. Maybe I could use the colored version instead. Let me try and use the colored version. Save. Logo, logo, logo. Did I not download that one from the online? There it is. Copy. Paste. Big. That looks pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna keep that over there, over that little part of the picture. And now let's get rid of those color swatches. There's pin layer 9. Paint layer 14. Where's the other ones? There we go. 10. 9, and 14. Okay, I want to make sure I keep those, though, just for... so I can remember what I did with it. Although I don't quite remember, I might not remember which ones were which, but I can at least use those again. Copy, paste, cut. Copy. Copy and paste. And cut. Copy and paste. And cut. Excellent. There we go. There is our finished drawing. Let me see if can I increase it slightly to where you can see everything. Not quite. Because there's something in between 33 and 50. I don't see the scale though, so we will just leave it at that. So that is, I will read the description of Sir Nigel Chattlesworth Reeves once more, and we are all done with him. Sorry, you got something in your nose there, Nigel. Let me just pick that for you. Let me just pick that a little bit. Oh, hold on. Why are you eating it? Oh, don't eat your boogers. Come on, man. I'm sorry, but I just enjoy the taste of boogers. Now, let me read this Sir Nigel Chattlesworth III. Let's see where you are. Here we go. So by Nitrous Oxide on Reddit, who has left some comments on the YouTube channel as well. Very, very friendly person who has given a lot of inspiration for this skeleton. It says, Revenant, undead warrior, you know? Oath of Ancients paladin. So talking about ancestors and nature and stuff like that. He appears to be a skeleton held together by vines and other plants, wearing the remains of armor that has mostly rusted away. We haven't really drawn his full body, so we're just doing the chainmail there. He wields a shield and spear, also we haven't drawn that, both of modest make, with the shield having a triskelion, with each arm terminating in a flower. He is of friendly demeanor and only wishes to spread joy despite his somewhat spooky appearance. And after suggestions of names like Keanu, we suggested names like Keanu, because I was like, which actor has a good bone structure to, like, their face kind of looks like a skull already, but they're also a friendly guy who people could trust, be like, oh yeah, I could trust that skeleton being friendly. And we realized Keanu Reeves would be a perfect actor to play the live action version of Keanu here. But that was before when we were still workshopping a name. Then Nitrous Oxide suggested Tim Curry as a voice actor, that he was more of a, like, you know, sort of kindly bombastic person, like Tim Curry's boisterous voice, which I think is so fucking funny for a skeleton. And suggested the name Sir Nigel Chattlesworth Reeves, I believe. And that is a wonderful name. So this is our completed drawing of Sir Nigel Chattlesworth Reeves. We didn't get to draw him full body. I spent a little too long on the chainmail for that. I want to move on to other people, but hopefully Nitrous Oxide enjoys it. And I think I enjoy the final result quite well. Thank you, Nocti. Now we can finally rip Take off that fake mustache. Save this. Save. It auto-saves occasionally, so we're not totally forgetting everything. And that means next week we can start on a new character. The next character that I'm going to be doing is a dog boy. Someone suggested their character. This is all from people on Reddit who I asked people to submit their character ideas, and I would draw some random ones from it, and people submitted like 100 different character ideas, and I chose some ones to draw. And so let me find, here is the next one. One of the next ones I'm going to draw is either a dog boy or a big buff lady. I think I'm going to draw the dog boy. And it is a hound archon. So a hound, I think an archon is like an angel, right? A hound archon who was sent down to the mortal realm and cut off from divine magic. So he became a wizard instead. He's about the height of a dwarf, slender as an elf. That's the unusual part for me. Usually when I think of dog boys, I think of like big werewolf, buff, tall wolf boys. But this is a short, slender dog. A little dog with blue-gray fur and German Shepherd style face. Likes fancy hats, switches wizard robes, and carries around a spell book with yellow, gold, Heward's handy haversack. Favorite color is yellow, but he only uses accents for that. Favorite food is his well-seasoned steak. He enjoys alchemy as a hobby. Profound, probably has vials and containers and random things. So we're having like a short, skinny dog wizard. Studious, wizardy wizard, alchemy-ish wizard. So I'm probably going to draw him at a table with a steak in his mouth and reading in a book and looking at some potions and things. And this will be my first attempt at a canine humanoid, you know, a dog man, a hound archon. I have drawn dogs before, but I don't think I've ever made them people. And so this will be a test in furry drawing for me, essentially. And I'm very, very interested in how I can do it, because I think I have a cartoony enough style based on other drawings I've done. I think I can make it cartoony enough that it probably will come out a decent, I don't know if particularly particularly skilled, but a decent furry art, honestly. I think I can probably do it. So that will be next week. Thank you to everyone who came by. Thank you, Nocti, so much for coming and spending some time with me. Thank you to Kristen as well, who dropped by and chatted with us. Thank you to, let's see, I'm scrolling up through the chat right now. I can't remember if we got any of the other regulars around, but if you were here and you were just lurking, even if you didn't chat, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed the stream. And if you're watching on the VOD, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed the VOD. I hope that it was a relaxing 3 hours, dang. And I haven't even gotten hungry yet. That's all for tonight. Definitely time for me to eat. Thank you, Nocti. I hope I hope your next stream goes well. I'm glad you enjoyed listening. Yeah, take care. If you feel like listening to some Goodle singing, then I'll be doing that later this afternoon in about 11 hours. And if not, then I'll see you in the Discord, and the next time you're streaming. Like whenever I am on Twitch, I look for who's streaming and always love popping in and leaving comments, so you'll probably see me in your streams eventually too. Bye bye. See you later. Goodbye, Nocti. I hope you have a pleasant day.